What's up, everybody? I'm going to do a classic rock reaction. This is a 5-set reaction, man, to Ronnie James Dio, formerly of Dio and Black Sabbath fame. I was really looking forward to getting to know Ronnie James Dio, man. And this 5-set is a really great way to start. So I'm going to start with a song from his early days called Stargazer, followed by Children of the Sea, followed by Shame on the Night, followed by Egypt, The Chains Are On, and lastly, Last in Line. So, Ronnie James Dio, a 5-set reaction, man. Here we go, Stargazer. Let's get it. What a tale he's telling. Oh man, having a singing voice like that, could you imagine? I love this part.
We build a tower of stone without flesh and bone to see flare, but we don't know why.
It's quite a story this guy's telling. Some crazy ass wizard or dictator has a bunch of slaves building him a tower. I'm thinking of the Tower of Babel from the Bible. I wonder if that's what he's singing about. Oh my God. Great guitarist, man. Dude. He's got Jimmy Page skills. Excellent. Wow.
All eyes see the figure of the wizard as he climbs to the top of the world. No sound as he falls instead of rising. Time standing still, then there's blood on the sand. Oh, I see his face. Where was your star? Was it far? Was it far? When did we leave? We believed, we believed, we believed. In heat and rain, with whips and chains, to see him fly. So many died. We built a tower of stone, with our flesh and bone, to see him fly. But why? In all the rain, with all the chains, did so many die? Just to see him fly. Look at my flesh and bone. Now look, 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 look at his tower of stone. I see a rainbow rising. Look there on the horizon. And I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Slaves are free.
I'm coming home. Time is standing still. He give me back my will. Oh, 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 oh. Going home. I'm going home.
Going home.
My eyes are bleeding and my heart is leaving here. The place I know, but it's not home. Oh, take me back. He give me back my will. Oh,
This is from the perspective of one of the slaves.
going home,
Going home.
going home.
Yeah. I love that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Great guitarist. Wow. Oh my God, man. What a song. Oh man. That was masterful, man. And I don't throw around masterful too often, let me tell you. That was masterful as hell. Stargazer. Oh man, I totally understand why so many of you have been relentless in having me react to this tune. This tune has every single thing that I like in it. Everything. It's got great musicianship, a really, really skillful group of players, man. You know, from the vocals, of course, of Ronnie James Dio, that great guitarist, man. And everyone else, that interlude there, the doom, from the synthesizers, man. Oh, man. Let me tell you, fantastic tune. Tells a great story. A triumphant story in the end, from the point of view of the slaves. So many slaves over so many years building this tower for some crazy ass wizard who wants to fly. You know, he's not even testing his wings on the ground first. He just wants to build a large tower and just jump off and soar. But he didn't soar. He just crashed into the sand and died. Yeah, man, it just reminds me of that idiot dictator from the Bible who wanted to be on par with God, so he had all of his slaves build him the Tower of Babel. And I don't know, it took like decades to build this tower, and finally almost the same fate, very similar happened. Wow, so it must have been inspired by that story. But yo, man, what a fantastic song. 5 out of 5. That's going on my playlist for sure. Stargazer. Excellent, man. Great lyrics. Tells a story. Great musicianship. The instrumentals stretches out the song. Makes it meaningful and more impacting. You can sit and you can visualize. Everything about this song is top notch, man. Fantastic, man. All right. Yeah, I've been looking forward to doing some explorations into Ronnie James Dio. He's one of those artists that I've heard about, and I've always heard good things. And I've said to myself, yeah, you know, that voice of his is so intriguing. And you know, the visual I get when I hear Ronnie James Dio, I remember watching Tenacious D, and I remember that the little kid was saying to Dio, "Hey Dio, what do I do, man? I'm torn between my family life, my upbringing from my strict father, but I want to venture. I want to go and launch myself out into the world and see what happens." And so then Dio appears to him in this vision, and the singing, the way he was just leaning into this kid and singing, and the powerful delivery. That is my takeaway from that movie. I mean, you know, there were other great things about the movie. I'd have to go back and revisit it. But one thing that really grabbed my attention, and is still solid in my mind, is that short little Dio part where he's just singing to this kid, and just the soulfulness of his delivery and the power of his delivery was just, it got me. And ever since that, I've wanted to research Dio a little bit more. I knew enough that Dio was in Black Sabbath and that he replaced Ozzy Osbourne. But that's really as far as I got with Dio. So I really got to get cracking and get to know the man more. But I do know that he's very well respected in the industry and a household name, well renowned. So let's get into a little bit of Dio and then a touch of the song, and we'll get on to the next one, man. I gotta stop all of my damn talking and get on to my structure here, or this video is gonna be well over an hour. Okay, man. Ronnie James Dio. Ronald James Padavona, born July 10th, 1942 to May 16th, 2010, known professionally as Ronnie James Dio, or simply Dio, was an American heavy metal singer-songwriter and composer. He fronted or founded numerous groups throughout his career, including Elf, Rainbow, Black Sabbath, and Heaven and Hell. Dio was born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire where his family resided for his father's service in the U.S. Army during World War II. They soon relocated to Portland, New York. His music career began in 1957 as part of the Vegas Kings, later Ronnie and the Rumblers. In '67, he formed the rock band Elf, which became a regular opening act for Deep Purple. In 1975, Deep Purple guitarist Ritchie Blackmore founded the band Rainbow, along with Dio, where he began a successful career, releasing albums such as Rising, Long Live Rock and Roll. That was respectively in '76 and '78. In '79, Dio joined Black Sabbath as lead singer. He appeared in 2 studio albums of the band, which met with success, Heaven and Hell in 1980 and Mongrels in '81. In '82, he left the band to pursue a solo career, having 2 albums certified platinum by RIAA. In 2006, he founded the band Heaven and Hell with ex-bandmate Tony Iommi. Dio was diagnosed with stomach cancer in 2009, from which he died the following year. Well, brother, I'm glad that you didn't suffer long. You know, when you get diagnosed with cancer, it could be a lifelong struggle. So, you know, if you're going to go, especially with something like that, I'm glad you went quickly and you didn't suffer long. Definitely. Dio is regarded as one of the greatest and most influential heavy metal artists of all time. He is known for popularizing the metal horn's hand gesture in metal culture and his medieval theme song lyrics. Dio had a powerful, versatile vocal range and was capable of singing both hard rock and lighter ballads. He was awarded the Metal Guru Award by Classic Rock magazine in 2006. He was also named the Best Metal Singer at the Revolver Golden Gods Award in 2010. If ever there was someone who was meant to sing great, strong metal songs, it was this gem, let me tell you, man, Dio. And yeah, I'm just going back a little bit. Now I know who Ritchie Blackmore is. He's from Deep Purple. And I remember doing 2 Deep Purple reactions. One was Hush, but the other one earlier was called, oh man, what was it called now? Child in Time. And I remember the video of that with him just jamming with the rest of the band. And the first thing that struck me about these guys was just how into their jam they were, to the point where it didn't matter that there was an audience present. That was my first experience witnessing Ritchie Blackmore. Truly a remarkable talent, of such definitely on par with the likes of a Jimmy Page, for sure, man. Skilled to the bone. Alright, so the song Stargazer. Stargazer is the 5th track from British rock band Rainbow's 1976 album, Rising. The song has been called a morality tale, and its lyrics are written from the standpoint of a slave in Egyptian times, according to lyricist Ronnie James Dio. They relate the song of the wizard, an astronomer who becomes obsessed with the idea of flying and enslaves a vast army of people to build him a tower from which he can take off and fly. The people hope for the day when their misery comes to an end, building the tower in harsh conditions, quote, in the heat and the rain, with whips and chains, just to see him fly. Too many died, unquote. In the end, the wizard climbs to the top of the tower, but instead of flying, falls down and dies. Quote, no sound as he falls instead of rising. Time stands still, then there's blood on the sand, unquote. The song is notable for its musical qualities as well, with the guitar and drum solos cited as important examples of the qualities of guitarist Ritchie Blackmore, singer Ronnie James Dio, and drummer Cozy Powell. In addition to that, I really like that interluding part, doom, 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 coming from the synthesizer. So that, overall, the whole band were just so on point. Love that, man. AllMusic and Musichow described the song as one of Rainbow's classics, AllMusic calling it, quote, a bombastic, strings-enriched epic. Vincent DeMassey, transcribing part of Blackmore's solos as an example of his taste for classical drama with a Middle Eastern flavor, calls the song an operatic blockbuster. Jeff Perkins argues that the incredible epic, one of the band's highlights, derives its strength from Blackmore's guitar playing, Dio's lyrics and vocals, and Powell's drumming. All right. Great praise from critics. That's good. All right, man. Excellent cover of Stargazer. So let's get on to our second track, that being Children of the Sea. All right, man. Children of the Sea. Let's get it.
In the misty morning, on the edge of time, we've lost the rising sun, a final sign. As the misty morning rolls away to die, reaching
Another
for
story.
the stars, we blind the sky.
You can sing light, you can sing strong and heavy.
We sailed across the air before we learned to fly. We thought that it could never end. We'd glide above the ground before we learned to run. Now it seems our world has come undone. Oh, they say that it's over, that it just had to be.
Listen to how his vocal range changes.
That it's over.
It's like three different people singing at the same time. Nice harmony there too, man.
We made the mountains shake with laughter as we played, hiding in a corner of the world. Then we did the demon dance and rushed to nevermore. Threw away the key and locked the door. Oh, they say that it's over, yeah, and it just had to be. Yes, they say that it's over. We're lost children of the sea.
Who's harmonizing with him? That's excellent. The bass in this is stellar. Everything is. Nice break.
In the misty morning, on the edge of time, we've lost the rising sun, the final sign.
Great bass player.
And as the misty morning rolls away to die, reaching for the stars, we blind the sky. Oh, they say that it's over, and it just had to be. Oh, they say that it's over for lost children of the sea. Yeah. Look out! The sky is falling down. Look out! The world is spinning round and round and round. Look out! The sun is going black, black. Look out! It's never, never, never coming back. Look out!
Wow, man. What a fantastic song. What a fantastic pairing of a masterful vocalist like Ronnie James Dio and a masterful assembly of musicians like Black Sabbath, Butler, Iommi, and Bill Ward. Yo, man, you fuse those individuals together and you've got a combination that just can't miss. Holy cow. My mind just kept zooming in on the musicianship of all four individually, and then collectively. It's just astounding. Wow. This was a masterful song, man. Another masterful title. Definitely masterful. And, oh man, I really gotta get into Black Sabbath on the whole, but especially the Black Sabbath Dio years. I know nothing about his time with them, so I really got a lot of researching to get caught up on. This was a great song, man. Everything about it is good. Again, telling a story. I think Dio likes the theme of freeing himself, freeing someone, liberation, breaking the chains and the anchors that bind you, and being free to soar, free to be expressive, free to leave and chart your own path. I like the idea of his vision. Yo, man, what a great artist. Let's go to a little info and background on Children of the Sea. Children of the Sea is a song by heavy metal band Black Sabbath from their 9th studio album, Heaven and Hell, released in 1980. Children of the Sea was the first song written by the band following the 1979 departure of original lead singer Ozzy Osbourne. I still gotta get into some Black Sabbath Ozzy Osbourne years, plus his solo stuff. The song's melody and lyrics were composed by new singer Ronnie James Dio, and the music was written largely by guitarist Tony Iommi. After first meeting Iommi in '79, Dio arrived at the guitarist's Los Angeles house for a jam session, and on that occasion, the duo wrote the song. Quote, Tony had this great riff he played me, but nothing to go with it, recalled Dio. I said, quote, give me a minute, and went into the corner and started writing down the words. Iommi recalled the moment as a turning point in Black Sabbath's career, saying, quote, it was exciting and challenging because we were doing things that quite frankly would have been beyond us with Ozzy. He wasn't that sort of singer. Iommi claims to still possess a very early demo recording of the song with Osbourne on vocals, though with a different melody and lyrics. Once Dio had joined the band, a new demo recording of the song was produced featuring Jeff Nichols on bass. The band's longtime bassist, Geezer Butler, was going through a divorce and wasn't able to commit to the band. In the end, though, Geezer sorted himself out and Jeff stayed with us to play keyboards, said Iommi. Okay, so let me just go back here. What I heard, was that Geezer Butler or was that Jeff Nichols? Okay, hard to say. I think it was Geezer Butler. I'll have to look at the tracking just to make sure. The song was recorded live at D-Side Leisure Center on the 20th of May 1980 and appears as the B-side of the single Neon Nights. Excellent. Okay, man. That was an excellent first outing, as especially replacing someone with the talent and the likes of Ozzy Osbourne. That must have been quite challenging, but he just walked right in, and it seems that he fit in very, very well. One thing I gotta do though is, I got a question. I got a question for you, Black Sabbath fans. His tenure with Black Sabbath was quite short, only 2 albums, so 2 years, and then he went on to do his own solo stuff. What happened there? Why wasn't he there longer with them? Was it creative differences? Was there strife in the band? Geezer was going through a divorce, so maybe the other members were going through other challenges and they just kind of lost their way and it fell apart, kind of like the Beatles, something like that. Let me know what happened, especially, and why he wasn't there longer. That's what I want to know. All right, now let's get on to our third track, that being Shame on the Night. Shame on the Night. Let's get it. Nice break. organ in there. Powerful singing.
Shame on you. Shame on my dreams. Shame on the sun and you. Shame on the night. Well, I lost my hold on the magic flame, but now I know your name. Shame on the night. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. Shame on the night.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Shame on the night. Wow. Masterful. Let me tell you, his vocals are astounding, man. Great musicianship, excellent vocals. Dio seems to really like to tell a story, farscape fantasy stuff with got an occultic touch to it. You know, makes it a little bit more dramatic and interesting. Obviously, yo man, great musicianship behind him, backing him up. Great singing. Shame on the Night. Alright. Shame on the Night appears on the album Holy Diver. Holy Diver is the debut album by American heavy metal band Dio, released in 1983. Vocalist Ronnie James Dio had just finished his first tenor in Black Sabbath, whose drummer, Vinny Appice, he took with him to put together his own band. The roster was completed by his former bandmate in Rainbow, Jimmy Bain, on bass, and by the young guitarist Vivian Campbell, coming from the band Sweet Savage. The album was acclaimed by the music press, and it is the most successful of the band. Released May 25, 1983, the album has been hailed by critics as Dio's best work and a classic staple in the heavy metal genre. The album was certified gold in the US on September 12, 1984, and platinum on March 21, 1989. AllMusic reviewer Eduardo Rivadavia, sorry to butcher your name, praises the album, stating that aside from Ronnie's unquestionably stellar songwriting. Holy Diver's stunning quality and consistency owed much to his carefully chosen bandmates. Absolutely, including powerhouse drummer and fellow Black Sabbath survivor Vinny Appice, veteran bassist Jimmy Bain, and a phenomenal find in young Irish guitarist Vivian Campbell, whose tastefully pyrotechnic leads helped make this the definitive Dio lineup. Holy Diver remains the undisputed highlight of Dio's career, and indeed one of the finest pure heavy metal albums of the 1980s. Now that is a review from a critic. Excellent. That's how it's done. Man, yeah, I'm going to definitely echo one thing that he said, in that along the course of Dio's evolution from his early days to his now later days, where he's got his band Dio, and I guess it's more considered to be a solo thing, he has surrounded himself with fantastic musicians who are just on point together and skilled as hell. And his voice stands by itself, but when it is backed by masterful musicians like Rainbow and Sabbath, and now these guys, you can't miss with this man. He has a great knack for surrounding himself with the right musicians. I give him props for that, man, because the delivery of it all is just on point, man. Excellent. Excellent. All right, so let's get to our fourth track, man, and that being Egypt, The Chains Are On. Egypt, The Chains Are On. Let's get it. about slavery and oppression.
Still your chains are on. You've seen them walking
Good
on the
work.
water. You've seen them flying through the sky. They were frightening in the darkness. They had rainbows in their
these great wonders in the world, yet they're still enslaved. It's a power play, trying to be above others, keeping others down and below you. That's what he's saying about. Excellent. Excellent. Deep. Yeah. That was excellent. As that song is going, my mind started wondering about, I know that he's singing about ancient Egypt as an example, and the slavery and oppression of the people. I was also thinking about in modern times too, how some people, for example, in our modern world, we have enough resources and enough money to make every single person on this planet a billionaire 1,000,000 times over. Yet that will never ever be, because there are people who are in positions of power who insist and will always want to be dominant over another person. That is the rush and the juice of certain people's lives to always keep someone down, keep someone ignorant, not share wisdom, knowledge, resources, and all of those other things that could bring about equality. So even though he's using the platform of the ancient times in Egypt, he's singing about a much bigger, broader perspective here. He's singing about oppression, being kept down deliberately, power play in people who want to stay over and above others and not share the wealth of wisdom, wealth of resources, wealth of information. That's what he's really, really talking about. And it's a crying shame. That's the point of his song. That just got me thinking about all of these big expanded things. All right, man. Egypt, the chains are on. Egypt, the chains are on, appears on the album The Last in Line. The Last in Line is the second studio album by American heavy metal band Dio, released July 2nd, 1984. It is the first Dio album to feature former Rough Cut keyboardist Claude Schnell, Schnell. Certifications. It was certified gold, 500,000 units sold by RIAA on September 12, 1984, and was the first Dio album to be certified platinum, achieving the feat on February 3, 1987. In the UK, it attained silver certification, 60,000 units sold by the British phonographic industry, achieving this in January of '86, at the same time as Holy Diver. To date, these are the only two Dio albums to be certified. In 2005, The Last in Line was ranked number 372nd in Rock Hard Magazine's book of the 500 greatest rock and metal albums of all time. Man, that long-ass sentence there had no commas and no breaks in it, man. Wikipedia, you can be great, but sometimes, man. Reissues. The album, along with Holy Diver and Sacred Heart, was released in a new 2-CD deluxe edition on March 19, 2012 through Universal for worldwide distribution outside the US. Okay, man. That's the information given on Egypt, The Chains Are On. Now let's get to our final track, that being The Last in Line. The Last in Line. Let's get it. Thunderous. That voice.
You can release yourself.
this was one of the songs.
Two eyes from the east, it's the angel or the beast, and the answer lies between our good and bad. We search for the truth, we could die upon the truth, but the thrill of just the chase is worth the pain. We'll know for the first time if we're evil or divine with a lasting light. Yeah, with a lasting light.
Excellent. Stretch that out. Excellent.
We're off to the witch. We may never, never, never come home, but the magic that we'll feel is worth a lifetime. We're all born upon the cross. You know we're the throw before the toss. You can release yourself, but the only way to go.
And one verse.
We'll know for the first time if we're evil or divine with a lasting love.
God, please give me that verse.
With a lasting light. See how we shine. With a lasting, 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 with a lasting light.
Excellent.
We're a ship without a star, with a cold inside the wall. We're a laugh without a tear, with a fall without the near. With a lasting light, with a lasting light, with a lasting light. See how we shine. With a lasting light.
Man, that was incredible, man. Fantastic song. Last in Line. Fantastic. Yet again, another powerful song with the theme of the desire to acquire freedom, to fight for freedom, break the chains that bind you, overcome to become. Last in line. Yeah. And along with that theme and that ideal, he paints a picture in your mind of the scenario, the landscape, the battle, the atmosphere. Masterful songwriter, great vocalist. Surrounds himself with incredible musicians. Yo, Dio, I gotta get to know you better, man. Fantastic. We're off to the witch. We may never come home, but the magic that we feel is worth a lifetime. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was this song not on the soundtrack for the Chronicles of Narnia? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? I'm pretty sure. Let me know. Alright, The Last in Line. The Last in Line. The Last in Line appears on the album The Last in Line Okay. Yeah, it doesn't give you information about the individual song. It only tells you about the album. It's the exact same information given as the previous song, Egypt, the Chains Are On. Yeah, exact same information. It's not song information so much as it is album information. So, okay, yeah, all of the information given here is exactly the same as the previous song. So I won't reread all of that. Yo, man, fantastic, masterful song. Let me tell you, every single one of these songs are going on my playlist, all 5. This guy's voice is the standout here. And then a close second are the great musicians that back him. He really knows how to surround himself with great people to help give him a lift, you know. So sorry to hear that he passed away by such an awful disease, stomach cancer. But I'm glad that it was quick, because that could be a long, drawn-out battle and lots of suffering. So, brother, I'm very, very glad that you didn't suffer long, man. My mom, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and from a year to the day she was diagnosed, she was gone. So she didn't suffer as long as many women diagnosed with breast cancer suffer. So it's as if it was just, she was meant to just live her life and then just go. No preambling, no wasted time. She's here 1 minute, gone the next. And it's the same with Ronnie. Here 1 minute, gone the next. Didn't have to suffer long. So that in itself is a small victory there, man. Glad you didn't suffer long, brother. Yo, man. What can I say about this guy other than I really have to get to know him more, go back to his earlier days. So he started quite a few bands. There was Elf, and then Rainbow, Black Sabbath, of course, and then his Dio years. So there's a lot of ground to cover, lots of timelines going on. So in getting to know Dio, give me your list of recommendations covering all of those areas. I'm sure among them there are some really cool hidden gems that probably you know about that a lot of us don't. So give me those too, man, and put it in some sort of time sequence for me where I can kind of be able to chart his course, his evolution into superstardom. That would be really cool if there's a timeline. If you're sending me any kind of requests, also send certain instructions along with it. What I'm talking about is a number of times when I get a request and I do the reaction, later on I see comments saying, oh, this was good, but man, you should have reacted to this long version or this other version or that version or this version. Listen, man, when you send me a request, send me also instructions on how to listen. If it is well established and known that, for example, that a certain live rendition of that song is the best version to listen to, or, a studio version or whatever. So when you're sending me requests, also send me instructions on how to listen. Remember, fresh ears. I don't have that kind of wherewithal compass to know, and I won't immediately think that, hey, maybe there's a better version of this or a video version of that. So send me those specific instructions, because it kind of weighs on me when I read certain comments that, oh man, you should have done this, you should have done that. So when you're sending me requests, send me the instructions along with it too, and also the timeline. And if you have links, that really, really helps. In any case, yeah, speaking of links, man, I want to give a shout out to a number of you who requested and recommended these excellent songs. These are the great folks responsible for this excellent assembly of music, man. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. I am going to definitely look into Dio a little bit more. So please send me your lists. All these songs were excellent. They're all going on my playlist for sure. I'm just going to go down to my notes real quick before I bounce, make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, what I'm seeing here is a list. Yeah, so give me a list, man, of your favorite, I'm going to say probably Dio tracks, especially in his Black Sabbath years, as well. Include Ozzy in that list too, according to a timeline structure, so that, especially because Black Sabbath have been so very, very close to being Artist of the Month, I know it's eventually going to happen. So if I have that list and that go-to kind of structure to follow, that will really, really help me with the Artist of the Month. They are a massive group with lots of music, and I think with big groups like this, if they make Artist of the Month, I'm going to do the Fleetwood Mac format, where I'm starting from the very beginning and then working my way all the way through. So that's I think what I'm going to try my best to do is just follow a timeline like that. So I know that Sabbath will end up being Artist of the Month at some point. But even if they're not, I'm definitely going to cover a bunch of individual songs in a form of maybe doubles, triples, quads, what have you. So I'm looking forward to getting to know Dio a lot more. This was excellent, man. Thanks again to all of those folks who recommended these songs. I really enjoyed all of them, man. So I'm going to bounce. So you guys have yourselves a good day. I really like this, man. This was excellent. I'm going to be humming these tunes all day. All right, man. Take care. Peace.